There are some things you say on television because you genuinely believe them, and then there are things you say that make everyone watching stop and think, wait, did Khloé Kardashian really just say that? Because Khloé Kardashian has just made a comment about her ex, Tristan Thompson, and her sister Kim Kardashian that has sent fans straight into speculation mode. And the strange part isn't simply what Khloé said. It's everything that came before it. For years, Khloé and Tristan's relationship has been one of the most complicated and publicly discussed romances surrounding the Kardashian family. There have been breakups, reconciliations, betrayals, co-parenting, awkward family moments, and an entire history that fans have watched unfold in real time. So when Khloé now says she wouldn't care if Kim Kardashian ended up with Tristan, people are asking one very obvious question. Does Khloé actually mean that? Or is this one of those Kardashian moments where the statement sounds casual, but the history behind it makes it impossible to take casually? Because if you remember what happened between Khloé, Tristan, Kim, Kylie, and Jordan Woods, this suddenly becomes a lot more complicated. And that is exactly where this story gets interesting. Khloé recently appeared in connection with her new Hulu project, Girls, which brings viewers closer to her circle of friends and their personal lives. The show is designed around friendships, dating, relationships, and the kind of conversations that can become extremely awkward when everybody knows everybody. And during one of those conversations, the subject of dating a friend's former partner came up. One of the women was discussing a blind date involving someone connected to her friend's past. And then Khloé dropped the statement that immediately caught attention. She essentially said that if she gave permission, then she would give permission, the baton could be passed. And then came the part that really made people raise their eyebrows. Khloé said she wouldn't care if Kim hooked up with Tristan. Now, on the surface, you could interpret that as Khloé saying she has moved on. Maybe she genuinely believes that chapter of her life is closed. Maybe she no longer sees Tristan as her romantic partner and simply wants him to be happy. Maybe, after everything that has happened, she really has reached a place where she doesn't feel ownership over who Tristan dates. And honestly, if that is how Khloé feels today, that is her right. But here is the problem. The internet remembers. The audience remembers. And most importantly, the Kardashian family's own history makes that statement much harder to accept at face value. Because Tristan Thompson wasn't just some random ex. This is the same Tristan Thompson whose relationship with Khloé became one of the biggest recurring storylines in Kardashian history. Their relationship was already complicated before the cheating scandals became public. Then came the controversies. Then came the public humiliation. Then came another round of reconciliation. And eventually, instead of completely disappearing from Khloé's life, Tristan remained deeply connected to the Kardashian family because of their children. That distinction matters. Khloé and Tristan may no longer be a traditional couple, but Tristan is still part of Khloé's world. He is still connected to her family. He is still the father of her children. And because of that, the idea of Kim potentially becoming romantically involved with Tristan sounds very different from Kim dating an ordinary ex-boyfriend of Khloé's. This isn't just about an old relationship. It's about family boundaries. And that is why fans immediately started questioning Khloé's comment. Because if Khloé genuinely doesn't care anymore, then maybe this is simply a sign that she has emotionally moved on. But if she does care and was simply making a joke for television, then the comment becomes something completely different. It becomes the kind of statement that gets attention because everyone knows the backstory. And there is another reason fans are skeptical. Kim and Tristan have already been around each other plenty of times. Over the years, viewers have seen Tristan remain connected to the Kardashian family. There have been dinners, basketball games, family events, and plenty of situations where Kim and Tristan were in the same social circle. That doesn't mean there was ever anything romantic between them. There is no evidence in the source material that Kim and Tristan secretly had a relationship. But the fact that they are already comfortable around one another makes Khloé's comment sound even more unusual. Because if your sister is dating, or previously dated, someone who caused you enormous emotional pain, most people would expect at least some boundaries. And that brings us to the comparison everyone immediately made. Jordyn Woods. For Kardashian fans, this name instantly changes the conversation. The Tristan and Jordyn controversy became one of the most explosive moments in the family's reality TV history. The situation didn't simply affect Tristan and Khloé. It affected Kylie Jenner and Jordyn Woods too. Jordyn had been extremely close to Kylie. She was part of Kylie's inner circle. She lived with Kylie. She was considered family. And when the controversy involving Tristan became public, the fallout was enormous. Jordyn's relationship with Kylie was effectively transformed overnight. That entire situation demonstrated something very clearly. For this family, romantic betrayal isn't always treated as an isolated relationship problem. It can become a family problem. It can change friendships. It can change living arrangements. It can change who is invited to events. And it can permanently alter relationships. So now, years later, Khloé saying she would be fine with Kim and Tristan potentially getting together naturally makes people look back at that entire chapter. And that's where the contradiction appears. Because Khloé's current statement sounds extremely relaxed. But the Khloé fans remember from the Tristan scandals was anything but relaxed. She was hurt. She was angry. She was publicly emotional. And viewers watched her struggle with a relationship that seemed to repeatedly put her in difficult situations.
So, what changed?
Maybe Khloé changed. Maybe time changed everything. Maybe motherhood changed her perspective. Maybe becoming Tristan's co-parent forced her to separate romantic feelings from family responsibilities. Or maybe Khloé simply understands that she cannot control what another adult chooses to do. And honestly, that would be a very different version of Khloé from the one audiences saw years ago. Because there is something else happening here that shouldn't be ignored. Khloé has been increasingly open about the difference between being Tristan's partner and being Tristan's co-parent. That distinction could explain why she sounds so casual today. She may not see Tristan as her man anymore. She may see him as the father of her children and someone who remains part of the family ecosystem. And if that is genuinely her mindset, then perhaps the statement isn't as shocking to her as it is to everyone watching. But here's where the Kardashian drama becomes fascinating. Even if Khloé is completely sincere, Kim would still have to make her own decision. Because permission between sisters is one thing. Actually dating someone's former partner is another. And let's be honest, Tristan Thompson isn't exactly a clean slate in this story. His history with Khloé is what makes this entire hypothetical so uncomfortable. So when Khloé says, "I wouldn't care," fans are naturally wondering whether she really means, "I've moved on," or whether she means, "I've accepted that Tristan will always be around." Those are two very different statements. And then there is the question of why Khloé would even bring it up, because nobody was necessarily asking for that hypothetical. The conversation was about friends dating people connected to other friends. Khloé could have simply said she wouldn't date a friend's ex. Instead, she took the conversation into Kardashian territory. And once Tristan's name enters a Kardashian conversation, people are going to pay attention. That's simply how it works. The Kardashian family has built an entire entertainment empire around relationships, family dynamics, personal boundaries, and the tension between private life and public life. So every sentence becomes part of the conversation. And Khloé knows that better than almost anyone. Which brings us to another interesting detail about the new show. Khloé reportedly wanted to protect the friendships involved by limiting certain confessional material in the final edit. And that is fascinating because reality television thrives on exactly the opposite. Confessionals create drama. They reveal what people really think. They show the audience what someone won't necessarily say directly to another person. So if Khloé is deliberately trying to keep certain conversations from becoming too explosive, perhaps she is entering a different phase of reality television. Instead of creating chaos, she may be trying to manage it. And that could explain why her comments about Tristan feel so controlled. Maybe Khloé doesn't want another giant family controversy. Maybe she has learned that every emotional reaction becomes a headline. Every disagreement becomes a clip. Every relationship becomes a storyline. And every sentence about Tristan can be analyzed for years. So perhaps saying she wouldn't care is actually her way of communicating something much simpler. That part of my life is over. But whether fans believe her is another question, because Tristan's name still carries enormous history. And the Kardashian family has spent years teaching its audience one important lesson. Nothing is ever completely simple. A breakup isn't necessarily the end. An ex doesn't necessarily disappear. And moving on doesn't always mean cutting someone out. Sometimes moving on means learning how to coexist with someone you once loved, especially when children are involved. That may be where Khloé is today. And if so, perhaps her statement isn't really about Kim at all. Maybe it's about Khloé. Maybe she is telling the world that Tristan no longer has the same emotional power over her. Maybe she is saying that whatever Kim chooses to do is no longer something she feels responsible for. And that would actually represent a major shift from the Khloé fans remember. But there is still one thing that makes the whole situation difficult to ignore.
Kim is not just any woman.
She's Khloé's sister. And Tristan isn't just any ex. He's Tristan Thompson. That combination alone guarantees that the internet is going to talk. So now the question isn't really whether Kim and Tristan are together, because there is no evidence presented here that they are. The real question is why Khloé felt comfortable enough to say she wouldn't care. Was it a joke? Was it genuine? Was it a sign that she's finally moved on? Or was Khloé simply making a bold statement for a reality show knowing exactly how quickly the internet would react? That's what makes this story so interesting. Because sometimes the most revealing celebrity moments aren't the huge scandals. They're the casual comments, the little sentences, the jokes that sound harmless until you remember everything that happened before them. And Khloé Kardashian just gave the internet one of those moments. After everything Tristan Thompson has put her through, after the public controversies, after the family fallout, and after years of complicated co-parenting, Khloé is now saying that if Kim wanted Tristan, she supposedly wouldn't care. Maybe she means every word. Maybe she doesn't. But one thing is certain. The Kardashian audience is going to remember this comment. And if Kim and Tristan ever actually appeared together in a way that looked even slightly romantic, this clip would probably come roaring back. Because that's the strange thing about celebrity culture. You can say something today as a joke, and the internet can turn it into tomorrow's headline. So for now, there is no confirmed Kim and Tristan romance here. There is only Khloé's very bold statement, a complicated history, and millions of fans wondering whether Khloé really meant what she said. And honestly, that might be the most Kardashian part of the entire story. What do you think? Did Khloé genuinely move on from Tristan enough that she wouldn't care if Kim dated him? Or do you think she was simply being playful for the cameras? Let me know what you think, because after everything that has happened between Khloé, Tristan, Kim, Kylie, and the rest of his family, this is one hypothetical relationship that would instantly set the internet on fire.